Welcome back to my TBR. This is a mess. I want to apologize in advance. I know this is a mess. I have been collecting for years. Yes, this is my entire physical TBR. Yes, these are 300 books. Actually, I think it's 300 books on the dot, but I thought in the beginning of the year it would be a good idea to introduce you all to the absolute carnage that I am on a daily basis. Usually, all these books are up on that shelf that you can't see. If you are wondering why the shelf behind me is completely full, it's because those are my read books. I'm not actually a horrible person, okay? I just have a lot of unread books on my TBR. Throughout this video, we might actually get rid of a few. I don't know, okay? We're gonna go through it together. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but I am, and you're joining me. So, of course, we don't have time to go in any of the books in depth because that will be a 3-hour-long video and we don't have the time for that. So hop on, get a drink, and join me while I go through my entire physical TBR. If I'm being honest, I don't even have any idea where to start, so we're just gonna start somewhere here. This is easy. This is the Vampire Academy series. I have every single book. I have not read a single one. However, I have watched the movie, and I'm a fan of vampires, so I feel like this is a classic that I want to get to. I got these for a video. I'm talking too much. Let's move on. Haha, romance. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is gonna go on the might actually get rid of this pile. I'm not sure where I'm gonna make that pile because I don't have space anymore. My room is full, but I'm not sure I'm ever gonna read this. Afterlove. This is cute, like kind of doomsday, I think. Excited. Sorry, bro. This is a queer romance in San Francisco. Some girls do. Also queer romance, although not in San Francisco. Here's to Us. This is the second book in a series. I don't have the first book. I can't get it in this edition, so I just don't have it. I just have this book, and I don't know what to do with it. Let's talk about love. Somehow I started with the queer romance books. I'm just realizing that now. Asexual romance, I think. I'm not sure if there is actual romance in this. And fake dates and mooncakes. This is cute. This is small. It's adorable. 12th Night, no clue, but it looks cute. A series of cozy fantasy-ish historical romances. The Secret Service of Tea and Treason. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. The League of Gentlewoman Witches. Similar vibe to the books I had before. The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks. The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, and The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I should probably put these back on the shelf as soon as I talked about them. A series, again, The Foxglove King and The Hemlock Queen. The first book came in a fairy loot box. I got the second book because I wanted them to match. I have not read them. I have no clue. I just am a chaotic person at heart. Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I didn't even know I had the book. Sometimes things got lost. The List. No clue. I got this in London once. I have no idea what this is. Suicide Notes? Also no clue, but it looked kind of cute and cool. I don't know why I got it, because it's honestly probably gonna destroy me. Sounds fake but okay. The book accompanying the podcast. Podcast is really, really fun and really, really good. I like it a lot. So I got the book and I have not read it. But I got the book! Also, The Joy of Small Things. I was thinking this could be a cute nightstand book where I read a chapter every day. Yeah, I've not touched it once and it's been on my nightstand for over a year. So, no, it doesn't work for me. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Please tell me I should read this, because if not, I'm getting rid of it. I've had it for too long. I'm probably not gonna read it, ever. Stealing Home. Why is this still on my TBR? I loved book 1 and 2. Why is this still here? This is gonna be cute. It's a baseball romance. Skip to the End. Like a paranormal romance, I wanna say. Although I do have absolutely no idea. Next up, 2 books by Victoria Aveyard. Broken Throne, which is the 5th book and like a compilation of short stories in the Red Queen series. And, again, by Victoria Aveyard, Fatebreaker, the 3rd book in the Realmbreaker series, which I really want to get to. However, I'm very scared because sequels and we don't match well. We've been having a rough time recently. This cardigan, I love it, but it always like slips down my shoulders. Silver to the Bone. There's a sword on the cover. That's the entire reason why I got it. Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. Very excited. Really want to get to it. However, again, scared. The Gilded Wolves. Why have I not started this? I don't know, but at least I don't have the entire series. Like, at least I was reasonable and only got the first book. Although I'm probably gonna regret that when they actually run out of print with the rest of the series. Now I want to get them. This isn't the purpose of this video. It's not. By the way, I am, of course, again on a book buying ban. Constantly. Although this time I'm not calling it a book buying ban, I'm just calling it a book buying restriction. Because I have realized that if I say no books at all, it's gonna go worse for me, and if I say just a few books, it's going better. The Sun of the Void. What is this? I don't know, but I own the book. By the way, if you see any of your favorites, please comment them down below so that I can put them on my TBR for the next month, okay? I'm really here for that. I will listen to whatever you say. Also, if you have books that I definitely should add to this TBR, feel free, be my guest. I will add them because I don't have any self-control. Castle in Their Bones. What is this? I don't know, but it looked pretty. Haha, a series! I got these as a PR package once, so we have the second book, which is Hunted by Fate, we have Claimed by Fate, and we have Caged by Fate. I actually really like the first book, and I'm not sure why I haven't continued that series. It's giving From Blood and Ash, but without the weird parts. So actually kind of fun, and I want more people to know about it, but at the same time, I just haven't finished the series. I'm also missing the last book. The Witch and the Vampire, which has an adorable cover and nothing else I know about, but witches and vampires are fun. The Blood That Binds Us. The reason I haven't started the series is because the rest of the series are incredibly expensive as the hardcover, but I have this one as the hardcover, so I just haven't started because I know that once I start, I wanted them all, and they're just too expensive for me right now. Foxglove! Again with the series curse, right? I'm just scared. Also, I couldn't get this cover of Wisteria, so I am boycotting. Impossible Creatures. This is, I think, wyverns or something, but for, like, younger, like ages of 10 or something. Not sure, but I'm gonna figure it out some point. I just love dragons. I got more space, a little more space to stretch my legs. I don't know why I put on jeans, by the way. This is just for you. I don't usually put on jeans. Where do I go next? Maybe here. The Tempest of Tea. This was my book club pick for December, but we haven't actually figured out when to meet, so I have not finished the book. I haven't even started the book. Yeah. But I want to read it. A Lady's Guide to Scandal. Again, like Regency era. The Davenports, also Regency era. But representation of black people, and we love that. Let's get into my Greek mythology pile, just to make more space for other books. We have The Immortal Games. Some of these might also be other mythologies. I think this one especially is Greek with Northern mythology, but I could be wrong. And then we have The Silence of the Girls and The Women of Troy, which both supposed to be really good, but I think I need to be in the right mindset to read these because these are not fun and giggly books. These are I'm gonna make you cry books. Another series, Scions, Timeless, and Endless. These are by Josephine Angelini, who also wrote the Star Curse series. These are books 4, 5, and 6. There is a 7th book, but I don't have it yet. Psyche and Eros. The Gentlest of Wild Things. I don't think this is Greek mythology. I just have it here. Because it's by the same author as Lies We Sing to the Sea. Of course, we have Ithaca, Stoneblind. We do love Medusa in this household. I am the household. Pandora, Atlanta, and sticking with the names as titles, Electra. I know the myths of these, but I don't know what's going on in the books. And then lastly, Percy Jackson, Chalice of Gods, and Percy Jackson, Wrath of the Triple Goddess. This one isn't supposed to be good, but I'm here to find out. Somehow, sometime. I don't know, okay? I don't have anything planned. I have too many books. Let's grab another pile from over here because it doesn't end, okay? This is endless. 300 books is a lot more than you might think. The Endless War. 4th book in the Bridge Kingdom series. I really need to get going with this. Godkiller. We're kind of going into the special editions now because Threats That Bind. No clue what these books are. Like, no clue. In the Lives of Puppets, All This Twisted Glory, and This Woven Kingdom. Where is the 3rd book in that series? The Red Scholar's Wake. What is this? Forged by Blood. The End Crowns All. This one, very excited. It's a Cassandra of Troy and Helen of Sparta romance, and I'm here for it. I'm, by the way, not ever gonna call her Helen of Troy, because that's not who she originally was. Anyway, you get the point. A Fate Inked in Blood. Really want to read this. Spells for Forgetting. And lastly, The Wren in the Holly's Library. Why did I say lastly? We're not even a little bit done. Don't tip over. The Book of Love. No clue what it's about. It's also very thick. This doesn't mean anything. I got this, and it is dedicated to me. However, I'm scared, okay? I am scared to relate too much to a book. Next up, Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. Sadly, somebody told me this isn't gonna be good, so I'm scared, but I'm gonna figure it out for myself at some point. The Walled Garden. The Haunting Season. Honestly, I might give this away to somebody because it's just short stories, and I'm not really a fan of short stories. Like, I love reading, but I'm actually not the biggest fan of literature itself. I just can't appreciate it the way other people can. The London Seance Society, another series, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. Really excited for them. I don't know why I haven't started reading them, but at least I own all three. Why am I like this? Next up, Fall of Ruin and Wrath, The Curse of Saints, The Bone Spindle, This Vicious Grace. I have no idea what this is about, but I have it because it's pretty. Hotel Magnifique. This looks cute and fun. A Body of Stars. I got this used. I'm kind of proud of myself. I have to say this because most of these books I did not get used. And then Last Violent Call and Foul Lady Fortune. I got these because I loved these Violent Delights, and then I never started reading any of the other books that Chloe Gong had written. Let's continue here with Shanghai Immortals and The Scarlet Alchemist, which are both Asian-inspired fantasies. These are also both extremely heavy for the fact that they're such tiny books. Where do we continue? Where do you want to continue? Pick a pile. I know this is in the past, but maybe I'm gonna randomly pick the pile you pick. How about this? A Deal with the Elf King. Had this for years, have not started it. Light Lark, Blood and Moonlight. The cover's pretty. Thornhedge. The cover is pretty. Sci-fi. This is it. Yes, I know it's not much. Gearbreakers, Fragmented Souls. It's giving Divergent. I just hope it's not giving the heartbreak of Divergent. Poster Girl by Veronica Roth. What was I? I was just talking about her. Anyway. Mindbreaker, also a sequel. Cress and Winter in the special editions. This is part of the Luna Chronicles, which I love, but I never finished the series. I stopped reading halfway through Cress, and I don't know why. Also, I read them in German. Random side fact. Let me grab another pile from over there. Alright, we got some romance here. Oopsie. We got 2 more books by Sarah Adams. I just read 2 of her books yesterday and the day before yesterday. So this is The Enemy and The Match. Very excited. We'll probably get to these within this month. Just because, honestly, Sarah Adams, such a good author who writes adult romance but without the spice. And that's just what I'm here for. Funny feelings. Scared, terrified, because I read one of her books and I didn't like it, so now I'm scared. How to End a Love Story. This was very hyped last year, so I got it and then I never started. The Hating Game. I didn't like the movie. I bought it before I watched the movie, then I watched the movie and I didn't like the movie much, so the book can only be better. The Breakup Tour. It's giving pop star. And The Ex-Boyfriend Yard Sale. My roommate got me this, so I'm gonna love it no matter what. More romance includes If You Then Me, The Bucket List to Mend a Broken Heart, The Play, Girl Abroad, An Unsuitable Match, Beach Rivals, Drive Me Crazy, and Savor It. Let's take this pile of holiday romances and go through it together. So this is Christmas. Anyway. Christmas is over. The Christmas Wish, Make You Mine This Christmas, The Mistletoe Pact, You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince, Never Been Kissed. This isn't Christmas, just by the same author as the one before. So I put them together. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, also not Christmas, but holidays. So it's in here. Christmas at the Comfort Food Cafe, Driving Home for Christmas, not by Michael Bublé, When London Snow Falls, and Christmas at the Island Hotel. And now we're done with Christmas, so don't be scared. You're not gonna see much more Christmas romance. Instead, you're gonna see all this mess behind me. We have a series. This is Dial A for Aunties, 4 aunts and a wedding, and The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties. Don't ask me why I say aunt and not aunt. I don't know. Loath to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. Yes, I still have not read this. I know I'm a bad person. And then Well Played, Well Matched, and Well Traveled. Very excited for these ones because I loved Well Met. Where do we go now? I need to swap positions because we're going to this pile. This is Middle Eastern fantasy, kind of. If that is a genre, this is it. These not really. This is Howl's Moving Castle. I honestly didn't know there was a book for it, so then I got it. And then I thought it was so pretty that I also got House of Many Ways and Castle in the Air. Because of course I can't just buy one book. Serpent Sea. This second book to the Spice Road. Loved the Spice Road last year, so very excited for this one. Oceans of Sand. Why have I not started this yet? It sounds so much fun. We Free the Stars. Another sequel I have yet to start. The Wrath of the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger. Honestly, I don't know which one is the first book or which one is the second book. I have no idea, but I have them both, and they're gorgeous and fancy and I love them. This series is also on my TBR. We have An Ember in the Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, A Reaper at the Gates, and A Sky Beyond the Storm. Excited. We also have 2 editions of Swordcatcher. Yes, I have 2 editions. I don't know why. I haven't read either. Of course, why would I read both? They're the same book. I don't make sense right now, okay, but I got a lot of editions of this book. Okay, where do we go next? I'm gonna scooch them all closer, and then we're gonna go through the next piles. We're getting places. I've moved some books from up there to down here. Next, we're gonna go into my witchy books. These are, for some reason, still all together. Flower Heart, which looks cute. Twin Crowns. Gods and Monsters. Honestly, not sure I'm gonna finish that series. I might just add it over there and be like, I don't want to. Witches Steeped in Gold. Why have I not started this book? I don't know. Together We Burn. Correction, they are not all witchy. This Poison Heart. The Witch's Heart, which is actually more mythology based. This Spells Love, If Tomorrow Doesn't Come, and All That's Left in the World, which are both doomsday romances. Both queer, which are my favorite 2 things put together. Yes, I do love myself a good doomsday romance. My favorite movie of all time is The Day After Tomorrow. I know, as a Swiftie, I'm not supposed to love a movie that has Jack Gyllenhaal in it, but I just can't stop myself. Next up, we have A Demon's Guide to Wing a Witch, which, very cool. These are comfortable. Apprentice to the Villain, also no witches, but villains with magic, so technically the same. The Once and Future Witches, I've had this for way too long, and I've heard so many good things, but for some reason I've never started it. The Kiss Curse, also like cozy witchy. Bookshops and Bone Dust, sequel that I haven't started. Why are there so many sequels I haven't read yet? And lastly for the witches, Rewitched, which came out last fall, and I really want to get to it before next fall so that I can recommend it to you if it's good. So that at least you can read it in the right season. Speaking of the fall vibes, let's go to my crime books. 1,000,000 to 1, Murder on the Titanic. That's all I'm gonna say. Win, Lose, Kill, Die. No clue, but it looked fun. 3 books by Karen M. McManus. We have The Cousins, You'll Be the Death of Me, and Nothing More to Tell, which, excited to read all 3 of them. Murder on a School Night, Liar's Beach, This Book Kills, All In, and Bad Blood, which are book 3 and 4 in the Natural series. Really excited to get to these. Although they're thicker, which makes them scarier. Perfect Little Monsters, The Dare, which is kind of like a high school thriller. The Night in Question, which is kind of like Agatha Christie inspired. The Reappearance of Rachel Price. Yes, I have not read this, and I want to, but again, I'm scared. Also, I forgot that it existed. And then we have The Hawthorne Brothers and The Final Gambit. I'm still angry that the font doesn't match on the back of the books, which is why I haven't finished the series. And then last but not least, Killjoy, which is the prequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Alright, the rest of this is all just fantasy, I think. No, it's not. It's a mix of mixes. Let's do this pile and start with The Deer by Al Kennedy. Nothing like the movies. I started the audiobook and I wasn't a fan. So I've put it aside for now. I might give it another try and just do some knitting, but I don't think I can actually read the paperback of it. I don't think I can do that. Mysteries of Thorn Manor. I don't know why I got this, but I have it. The Bad Ones. This looked fun. Also, it was like $3 at my bookstore, so I got it. And then we also have The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic, which is a witchy book that wasn't with the other witchy books, so you're welcome. We also have King of Battle and Blood, which is like vampire, but also very spicy. And then we have Hate Mail, which is a paperback, but it's not floppy at all. So I'm just not really inclined to read it, and the ebook is really expensive, so I might just have to get through this one. My brain doesn't really want to read romances in paperback form anymore since I've started reading on Kindle Limited. Alright, next up we have The Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne, which are like in the Cruel Prince world. They're the sequel series. I'm excited to get to those, actually, because I love the world. I just didn't love Jude in The Cruel Prince. Next up, we have A Dark and Drowning Tide. This is gorgeous. It's why I got it. And then by that same author, I also have Down Comes the Night, which looked cute and adorable. And we also have A Fragile Enchantment, which I heard good things about, so I got it. Also, it's pretty. I'm a sucker for a pretty cover. We also have Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. Infinity Alchemist. This looks like I got an ARC for it, but I actually got this online, used, and they sent me the ARC, to which I then contacted them and was like, you aren't allowed to sell this. And then they refunded me and told me to keep it because they aren't allowed to sell it, when in reality I wanted the hardcover. Now I have the ARC, which is just plain white. Not sure I like it much. The fact that I have the ARC The book is probably gonna be really cool. However, it is very floppy, so I'm gonna have a good time reading it. All the Gold Between Us, Heartless by Marissa Mayer, I'm still scared, A Multitude of Dreams, and The Poison Season by Mara Rutherford. Every time I hear Rutherford, by the way, my head does the thing, connects the dots, and starts singing Dalton, Thomson, Rutherford, and Bohr, Schrödinger, and Heisenberg, and many, many more. It's something I once learned in chemistry, and I never got it out of my brain. Because I love to be way too theatrical for my own good, we're in the end game now, people. This is the rest. This. It's still a lot, and I don't know how it's gonna fit on the last 4 shelves of my bookshelf, but that's a problem for future me. Most of these are now special editions that I haven't read yet. We have What the River Knows, which is like Egyptian mythology, which honestly I love Egyptian mythology. We have Her Radiant Curse, Last Tale of the Flower Bride. I've started this book. I have started it. I just forgot that I started it. I should probably put that somewhere so that I remember that I actually started reading the book. We all know I won't. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. I don't know why I have this book. Son of Blood and Ruin. Sounds fun, looks cool. With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher, who is a musical performer. We have The Drowned Woods, Feybound, which I never read, although I wanted to. Bonesmith, which just looks fun and kind of violent. These Infinite Threats, here it is. Why is this so far away from the other books in that series? We also have Upon a Frosted Star, Ink Blood Sister Scribe. Yes, that is the book title. A Song of Silver Flamelight Night. This entire video is insanity. Why are you still watching this? I love you though for doing it. Where is the rest of this series? This is the Luminaries, which is I think the first book in that series. Although I'm pretty sure I have book 2 and 3 as well. Somewhere. The Hunting Moon is the second one though. We also have Dowry of Blood, which sounds really, really fun. A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. A Forgery of Roses. The Last Hour books by Cassandra Clare. Hold on, this is the wrong order. There we go. We have Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and Chain of Thorns. I'm pretty sure I will never read those, but I have them just to pretend that I do. I'm not a huge fan of Cassandra Clare and her works. I'm not. I've never read a book of hers where I was like, yes, I love this. Remember when I said I was done with romance? I am not done with romance. We have Written in the Stars, Hang the Moon, and Count Your Lucky Star by Alexandria Belfleur. I have no idea what these are about, but they look cute and they're queer romances. Most of them, I think. I don't know, but they're so pretty, okay? I'm a sucker for special editions, and I love stars, so win-win. Next up, we have Gold and Goldfinch, the last 2 books in the Plated Prisoner series that I'm still terrified to finish, but I will. I have actually started reading Gold, so we're on the right path. Another book that I started reading, I'm actually like almost halfway through this, is A Day of Fallen Night. This is what I'm currently reading, by the way, but it's still on my TBR because as long as I don't DNF a book or I finish it, it's still on my TBR. It's really fun. However, it takes me a while because I'm also back in university now, doing my master thesis, and I need something to calm down after university. And this is not calming me down. We also have The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. The Whispering Night. I knew I had the 3rd book in that series. I knew it! And then we have Throne of the Fallen and Throne of Secrets. Both of these are the Waterstones exclusives. I love them. I've not started them, but they're supposed to be fun. I've heard good things. Also, I love the author. She also wrote Stalking Jack the Ripper, which I highly recommend. We're starting with this one because it looked like it was about to fall down. We have Finding Jupiter, which is a young adult romance. And then we have book 2, 3, and 4 in the American Royal series, which I do plan on getting to this year. We also have The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea, which is fun and exciting, and I'm excited to finally read this. The Voyage of the Damned. It looked so good in my bookstore that I got it, and it is a fantasy book, and I got it in a paperback. And I'm regretting my life choices, but we are living with the life choices right now. I also have All the Stars and Teeth, and I want you to applaud me really, really quickly, because I didn't get the 2nd book in the series without ever reading the 1st one. Look at this. We've been here for so long that the camera battery died. Anyway, we have the Sunbearer Trials, which after reading Cemetery Boys, I got it, and then I never started it. And I don't know why, but I didn't. Next up, we have House of Salt and Sorrow and House of Roots and Ruins, which is like take on the fairy tale of the like 12 Dancing Princesses, which is also a Barbie movie. which you might know better than you know the fairy tale. I'm not sure how well versed you are in fairy tales because I love them, but they're kind of brutal. And then we also have Cinder and Glass, which is of course a Cinderella retelling. We have The Isle of Gods, which I seriously only got because the cover looks amazing and I like ships. I don't like the ocean in real life, but I like it in books. Next up we have Drown Me with Dreams, which is the second book of Sing Me to Sleep, which I read last year and I liked, so happy to have the second book in my possession. We have The Forest Grimm, which I got as an Fairy Loot exclusive, and then I didn't read it, even though I love fairy tales, and this I think is a fairy tale. Like Little Red Riding Hood is on the pages, so I definitely want to get into this year. I also have Painted Devils, which is the second book in the Little Thieves series, which I love because it's actually a retelling of my favorite fairy tale, which is The Little Goose Girl. If you don't know, look up The Little Goose Girl. It's actually, if you have a problem with animals dying, maybe don't look up The Little Goose Girl. But I loved that fairy tale growing up. Like, a talking severed horse head may or may not be involved. Anyway, then I also have Bravely, which is like the Brave Merida retelling of the Disney movie. No clue, but I'm gonna check it out. Next up we have The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi. I've been meaning to get to this, and for some reason every time I think about it, it just vanishes inside my head. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it, but I want to desperately. We also have In the Shadow of the Wolf Queen. This is also like a middle grade book, so for like a younger audience. And then we have Wild and Wicked Things, which just sounds amazing. And of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't have another entire series of books that I haven't read, but I do own the entire series. This is A Marvelous Light, which is the first book, A Restless Truth, and A Power Unbound. I'm getting Regency era, but magic with these ones. Next up we have A Scatter of Light and Last Night at the Telegraph Club, which are two queer historical-ish romances set, I think, in Chinatown. I'm not sure though, because I started reading Last Night at the Telegraph Club and then it was just too hard for me to read in that moment, so I pushed it to a later point, and that later point has not come yet, so I can't actually tell you. And then, of course, we have The Kiss of Deception, The Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness, which is a series, and the sequel series I've already read, which is Dance of Thieves. Yes, and I love that one, so I'm really excited to get to these. Alright, now all that's left is like my Dark Academia and my Asian fantasy. We are going places. Let's start out with Olive E. Blake. We got a little something here. We have Masters of Death, One for My Enemy, The Atlas Paradox, and The Atlas Complex. Yes, I need to finish these. Alright, then we have Lady Macbeth, Ace of Spades, which I'm ashamed that I haven't read this. I've had this for like 2-3 years, and I still haven't picked it up once. We have Bloodmarked, which I definitely want to read before the third book comes out. We have The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I'm not sure. I have mixed opinions on Leigh Bardugo because I loved Six of Crows, but I didn't like Shadow and Bone. This one can be a hit or miss. I have not heard anybody talk about it, so I don't know yet. And then we also have The Whispering Dark. And of course we have the entire Prison Healer series with The Prison Healer, The Gilded Cage, and The Blood Traitor. Why did I say traitor as if I was British? I think that usually when I say the word traitor, when I hear the word traitor, it's in a British context, so I just say traitor. Sometimes my English does not make sense because I copy my accent, right? Side fact about me, when I was growing up, I had an English accent, like a British one, and then I had like a very, very Southern American accent during my country music phase, and now I have this, which I don't know exactly what it is, but it is something. Next up is The Book of Living Secrets. This just looks amazing. We also have The Book Eaters, Kingdom of the Feared, which I finally want to get to this year. It's been sitting on my shelves for way too long because I need to recap what happened in the other two books, but I've just been too lazy to do it. I also have The Book of Night by Holly Black. I think I started this once and then I actually stopped reading, so technically this has already been DNF'd. I DNF'd it like 20 pages in, so I think I'm gonna give it another shot. We have The Clockwork Girl, and also The House of Whispers, The Midnight Lie, which I got because the book is just stunning. Also The Book That Wouldn't Burn, which is a sequel, and I want to read this soon because I'm just excited for it. We also have An Education in Malice, and the Deadly Education series with A Deadly Education, The Last Graduate, and The Golden Enclaves as the third book. I'm very proud of having all of these. And now let's move to the last pile, which is my Asian fantasy pile. For this, I'm just gonna move sides so that the pile can kind of lean. because it is heavily leaning on my bed. Okay, let's just do it like this. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, which just like, it looks beautiful. It looks stunning. Like, what do you want? It's perfect. We also have Violet Made of Thorns, which also looks beautiful. Most of these I got because they're pretty and because it sounds amazing. It's just that I haven't gotten to them yet. Next up we have the Iron Widow. Again, I've heard good things. I have Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dusk. I have The Ones We're Meant to Find, which is kind of like a sisterly thing. Not a romance, by the way. And then we have A Magic Steeped in Poison and A Venom Sweet and Dark. No, Dark and Sweet. Who cares? These two books, which, might I say, look absolutely amazing. Six Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise. I am very ashamed of myself that I have not actually finished these books because they look and sound amazing. Next up we have another finished duology. We have Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Heart of the Sun Warrior. Probably will love these. I have She Who Became the Sun and He Who Drowned the World, which I'm also very excited to read. And then the absolute last 3 books is the Poppy Board trilogy, which I will hopefully get to within this month because I want to. But then again, somebody told me that they are very, very brutal, so I should be prepared. But I think I am prepared. Says she now, right? This could change. This could really, really change, but I want to read these this month. Definitely this year. It's getting less and less ambitious with everything I say. Anyway, and with that, we are done. I will now put all the books back on the TBR shelf, and I'm done. I'm really, really done. Like, this has taken a lot longer than I anticipated. So I will just say goodbye to all of you, and I will see you soon for the next video. Bye everybody, and have an awesome day. You just be lucky that you're not in this room with me, because honestly, I'm sweaty. I'm sorry if that's too much information for you, but I am sweaty. I can't open my windows because there's construction outside, so this room is just like heating up because of the camera, because of the lights, and because of me. Because I'm so hot. I'm also so cringe. Anyway, I hope I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.